welcome to BuzzPods. I'm Grace and today I'm with Ben, Max and Gabriel, and today we're discussing the US election.
Yeah, so currently the polls are looking very neck and neck. Kamala Harris was 48.8, I believe it was. And then Trump was...
Kamala is at 48.7 at the moment, and Trump is at 47.4%. Obviously, there's still time left, and there's some swing states as well, which are going to have basically the deciding votes. I know in Texas, which is one of the swing states, there's 2.6 million new voters, so that's gonna be a big factor in that.
And there's 7 swing cities in total, so whoever wins in those areas can possibly win the election overall.
Yeah, I think that's the most amount of swing states there's been in a while, because those deciding states, it can make or break whoever actually will win and become the president of America, which is quite serious.
Yeah, I've got the list of swing states here actually. So North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania are the 7 swing states. So they're the big deciders basically.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's been a lot of endorsement this year, like a lot more than what there has been in previous years, with a lot of celebrities. Pushing for people to vote for certain people.
Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few on both sides, and some that have shocked. I mean, you were saying earlier, Max, that you were shocked about Kim swinging for Trump.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian. I think I was quite surprised about Kim Kardashian. I don't know why. I thought she would have been all, female power for Kamala, and, but yeah, I was very surprised.
Talking about that, it's like a lot of Kamala's support from celebrities have been females. I think that's a really important thing in this election, because I think a lot of the female voters she's been targeting, and that's probably a good thing. I think because if she loses, it's a pretty big blow for women in America.
I mean, I think her strong point is reaching out to women and our generation. And I think that's definitely the biggest pull for a lot of people when it comes to voting. I mean, Billie Eilish, she's currently touring, and at her Atlanta show, she did speak out. She said, "Times are really scary and a lot is at stake, and I know that you're in this room and you support me, you support women." Because she's always been very vocal towards politics, especially around protecting women's reproductive freedom, because as of August this year, 17 states have completely outlawed abortion, and Trump wants to ban abortion across all states and has said that women should be punished if they get one, but ultimately criminalizing abortion doesn't stop it. It just means people turn to unsafe abortions, and thousands of women have been in the coming days recently been protesting in Washington against other women's rights. And it's that question is, why do we, especially what shocks me is women that vote for Trump. I'm he doesn't like you, and ultimately you voting for him, you're any right that you have to make about your own body, you're giving to a man who doesn't care. And unfortunately, women are going to die because of it.
Yeah, it's quite saddening to hear a lot of women, it sounds like they don't care, even though they should care, because it's something that's very important, something that they've worked hard to earn this right. And I think it's quite upsetting, but that's why I'm so glad, Kamala, she's targeting people, she's going after celebrities like Taylor Swift. That is a massive, she's a massive influence to young girls and a lot of people, new voters. I think she racked up the most votes through the campaign, where
and that's millions of fans as well that are instantly swayed by Taylor's decision.
Yeah, and I think with artists that are touring right now, like Billie and Taylor,
Sabrina Carpenter,
this is their chance to kind of push it, because you're performing to thousands, and thousands are sat there because they idolise you.
And then also they've got support from across the world then as well. It's not just America. You get different countries giving their opinions on it, and then all that together it's a massive, massive factor in the final election.
Yeah, because I mean, even we're in the UK, but I think a lot of people still here are anxious.
Yeah.
I think 18% of British people would vote for Trump. And I still think that is scary, seeing as
Yeah.
we're in it's not even going to affect us remotely, like with like anything, but 18% of people would still vote for Trump if they were in America, like British people, and the 82% that wouldn't vote for Trump, that's amazing. But the fact that there is still 18%, that's a very scary 18%, because that 18% of people would take away all those rights.
Yeah.
And how many of those would be women? Like, I think that's the scariest part of all of it, really.
Because I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, so I'm more aware of the world, but it does feel like we are regressing, which is very scary, because it's not just a case of women's rights. You know, there's genocide across the world. There's other human rights issues that, you know, and it feels like we're going very backwards. And I think that's why, as a world, it's not just the US elections, it's something that's impacting everyone, because Trump, if he does win, has a lot of power.
Yeah, I think on Trump's side of things as well, with the celebrities that he's got endorsing him, I think you touched on Kim Kardashian. I think Kanye's on Trump's side.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk Hogan. Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Elon Musk is a big one.
Elon Musk is huge because, of course, we all know him for being the tech billionaire that he is. So he has X as well.
He's got his own platform to voice his opinions on.
He has voiced his opinions very, like, massively on X. And it's like, after Taylor Swift, like, he was like, well, I'm going to start paying people $1 million to vote, which is illegal. That you can't convince people to vote by paying them, because you're buying votes.
And you can't escape it either. Like, X or Twitter is such a massive, massive thing. Like, it's hard to actually escape that and escape the voice of Elon Musk, basically.
But back to that paying people for $1 million, that's incredibly good promo for Trump.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, the fact that people will actually vote to get money, and you know, that's technically good for people voting. It's just that it's not really a good way of
it's not a good way
votes.
to endorse voting at all for anybody. Like, whether it's for Trump or for Kamala, you shouldn't be paying people to vote. It should be how you feel and what you think is right for you, like what fits you best. It should be your opinion. It shouldn't be someone else paying you to have an opinion.
Yeah, I think this year with the celebrities, it seems to me like such a bigger thing than it has been in previous elections. Like, a lot of it seems to be around celebrity endorsement. I've seen a lot of stuff on TikTok and other social medias, which is basically that's their main tool of getting people to vote through social media now, especially with our generation, with younger people.
Because I believe Bryce Hall endorsed Trump. I believe.
Yeah, he's at a rally.
Yeah, he turned up to a rally, and that's a way to hit younger audiences, is going for these popular mainstream influencers or celebrities, and that's what's getting people to vote for these people, because they're getting people that are popular or current in the media.
That's the thing, and he's so vocal on TikTok still about it all.
Yeah,
and it's scary because obviously with celebrity endorsements, like you were saying, it's so important now because they want the younger people voting.
Yeah.
They don't.
People don't know.
They don't. Like, same in the UK elections we just had. So many people didn't vote, and I just think, why? Why didn't you?
Like, I also I believe it was Joe Rogan has just recently endorsed Trump, and like the fact that someone that has a really popular podcast has just massively endorsed that. Like, that is like a lot of viewers. Like, I think he was like top 5 stream podcasts in US or the world. I can't remember which one it was. And like the fact that someone like that is promoting Trump, that's a massive influence on a lot of people.
Yeah,
that's quite scary.
He can be so vocal about it on his podcast, and because he's got so many viewers, I think for a lot of people as well that aren't too sure on it, that's going to swing them the way of Trump. Yeah, and like people who don't necessarily have like political views already, or like people who aren't even that interested, that's definitely going to sway them, I think.
Oh yeah, because it's so easy for that, like someone that's not very political to be like, well, I like this person and they're voting for whoever, so I just guess I'm going to do that.
Exactly, and every vote only counts for one as well. So it's like, I don't know, if you've got a celebrity endorsement from someone like Joe Rogan, that's a lot of votes.
Yeah, as to be fair, even with Kamala Harris, she went on SNL, and that caused a massive uproar because people were complaining that how come Donald Trump hasn't had that? I'm like, well, and then in the article that I read, it said, well, nobody has come forward complaining about her being on there, so why would it matter? And I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's okay. She can go on there. It's like she didn't endorse. She was just there, like, and then they did a little skit with her being there and making fun of her name, like Kamala. But like that was it.
At the end of the day, she's just hitting her demographic because, you know, younger people tune into SNL. It's like she was also on the Call Her Daddy podcast, which is huge, but mainly for just having, you know, other celebrities and influencers. But actually having a political figure like her on there was a pretty big deal. But people obviously weren't happy.
That doesn't make sense though. No. It doesn't make any sense. Why would it make a difference if someone appears on a podcast? Because you've had someone like Donald Trump who has appeared on Twitch streams, like Aiden Ross. He went on Aiden Ross's stream and they had like a little press conference. Like
also collabing with McDonald's and that.
Yeah, like he turned to show that he has work. He understands what it's like to be working class, or to like understand how, like, because he only did it though because Kamala said, oh, I've worked in McDonald's. And he said, well, this is easy. I can do that too. But then did it all for promotion. And then some people have said that, oh, the people that were working, or like the people in the drive-thru, were actors. It's like, how can you fake being a proper worker? And like try to endorse, oh, you understand what people want and what we're going through, but you don't.
At the end of the day, it's a competition between them both, and they are just trying to get, like, you know, they're trying to come across like they're that friend, they're that person you can rely on, they're relatable. And like everyone knows it's all for show. A lot of it is just for show.
It's all publicity.
And for personal gain.
Yeah. It's like they're just doing it for, like, they're always like, all talk, will they, but the question is, will they follow through? Like, that is the deep question. Because if Trump wins, will he follow through with his abortion rights? Will he follow through with certain things that he has said? But then also on the flip side, will Kamala? Like that, I think that's like, if they make promises, they should make sure that they stick to them.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because obviously Trump's had 4 years in term already, and he's had his chance. Really, I think that will maybe put some people off. But then on the flip side of that, I think a lot of people will sort of think that's a good thing because he's already had the experience, maybe.
Yeah. The fact that he's already been president, like, he knows what it's like. I think that has already swayed a lot of people. But again, that's quite the scary part with him.
Yeah, I think it's quite easy to manipulate your audience.
When you already know what to expect, like, he's already done this before. And also, there are even some celebrities that don't want to endorse. Like, they've been offered, like, they've been approached, and they're like, I don't want to state my opinion.
What, like Chapel Roan? That was a big one because she obviously came out and said, I don't endorse either. She got so much hate and backlash for it when people just don't have any, it's just basic, like, critical thinking. Like, all she's saying is, I don't agree. I agree with some of Kamala's policies, but I don't agree with all. Like, she didn't agree with her views on Palestine. That's completely fair. A lot of people don't. And at the end of the day, like, she's not saying that she's this, that, and the other that people disagree with. She's just saying, I don't agree. I'm not going to endorse something that I don't personally believe in. Who you vote for is who you vote for. But, you know, if she didn't speak out, that'd be another issue. So
yeah, it's a sticky situation for her because she can either endorse and just be a sheep in their game, or she can do what she didn't say, I'm not doing anything, but then the backlash was unreal.
Yeah, the problem is a lot of celebrities have a lot of media training, and people don't like to see a celebrity with a backbone.
But to be fair, she has only been in the spotlight for not that long. So the fact that she's gone and done that is, you know, huge respect to her, because that's a massive thing to speak out on. Like, she's open about pretty much everything. And then that was incredible to see on social media. But the backlash was, I think, a little bit uncalled for.
I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that it's all for money, but I think a lot of these celebrities are being offered a lot of money to support one or the other. I think obviously they're expressing their own opinions, which is absolutely fine. But I think there's got to be some aspect where money is pretty heavily involved. What
are they really gaining from this?
Exactly.
Like, maybe it's not even just money. Maybe it's just more publicity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's free publicity, really. If they're on one of the sides of.
It's like, let's think about Hulk Hogan. You haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
And see him come
That's
back.
a WWE superstar.
It's not just bringing like WWE fans of the current era. It's bringing old WWE fans as well,
That's
and
true,
even before that. And Hulk Hogan was huge during his time. He was such a good like sort of figure in the community, and so to have him back, it just brings like a whole nother level. But in all honesty, I have so much respect for Chapel Roan. I just find it really weird how you can get backlash for just sitting on the fence, being neutral.
Yeah, and the problem was she wasn't even necessarily like sitting on the fence, and like I think also a lot of her audience actually do agree with what she says. Like a lot of people would agree with what she had spoken out about, especially when she was speaking about Palestine, for example. But because everyone kind of gets down each other's throats, that just gets completely overlooked. And it's just actually, let's just attack a young woman for just speaking what she thinks. God forbid someone else did that, supported Trump, but yeah.
It's quite scary though. Like tonight is the ultimate decider. Those 7 states will make or break US for the next 4 or 5 years.
And the world in general as well.
Yeah, because Trump's friendships are a bit. Because even Putin was like, "Oh yeah, I want Kamala to win," and I think that was the most unexpected thing I'd ever heard. Like the fact, and then because he's supposed to be a good friend of Trump's, and Trump was like, "What the hell?"
It's almost comical.
Yeah, like, isn't it? Like even with the whole what's been going on with Ukraine, the fact that he's still gone, "Oh yeah, no, vote for Kamala instead of Trump." Like what? Where is this? Where has that come from? What is he gaining out of this? Like, I don't know what will happen with the UK. The UK will be very 50-50, but I'm not sure. But I think it will massively affect America as a whole. And then also, yeah, like Ben said, the world. And I think that's quite scary to see because the generations we're going into, these new young people, like they're just some of them are voting for the sake of voting. But, and that's the worst part because they don't know what they're going to get themselves into.
Have we got any opinions then? Who's going to win?
Predictions.
Yeah. Who do we think will win it all in the end?
I'm going to put it out there and say Kamala Harris is going to do it. It's going to be close.
I really hope so. But when you just can't help but have that horrible feeling that it could go the other way.
I feel like Trump's just got such an influence. Even like he's been such a huge figure, even since the last one. Like his name is always there every year. And it's like either he's going to get it or he's not. And I do think he's going to get it if it continues to go like this.
Yeah, to be fair, if it comes out that he's won a state in the next 2 hours, I think he'll take it home. But I think if he does lose, Kamala Harris should be proud that she was vice president and then took over Joe Biden's campaign to then become president, and she has done incredibly well to get as neck and neck as she has. I think, and the fact it'd be great for her to win. It would be really, really great. But I do have, like you said, the gut feeling that Trump will win, and I think that's the scary part. I don't think anybody's prepared for it.
The world is not ready for Trump to return.
No, I don't think anybody. I think another assassination attempt could be made at him if he gets president.
I think that's everything. Well, Buzz Bournemouth at the uni, they're going to be doing live media coverage all night. So check that out on their social media. And thank you for listening.